Streaming from Oklahoma's own digital studio, this is Beyond the Forecast.
All right, everybody. Well, we're back again. Another episode of Beyond the Forecast. This is our 1 millionth show, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
So, and of course, the couple, one of the couples, Hank and Patty Brown, big chasers. Everybody knows your name. There's a song in there. I'm just saying. And how long? You know, here's the deal. People know. I mean, people know your names, both of you. I mean, you guys are. You say one, you can't say one without the other. Everybody knows who you are. How long, for those at home, how long have you been at News 9? How many years now?
My first chase for News 9 was October of '97.
Okay.
So, and then Patty came on a few years later. She chased with me.
Right.
In between there, and then Gary actually hired her probably around 2000 or so.
Okay.
So somewhere around there. So
Okay.
a long time.
So, but before that, you went by yourself until you added her. You were just one-man band.
Yeah, I chased by myself a little bit.
Yeah. We did back then. I mean,
Yeah, it was. You know, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I knew I was out there. I was having a good time.
you're a body in the field.
Looking the wrong way, you know, like, wow, it's blue sky. Oh, no. But yeah, I chased a little bit, and then I started chasing with 9. Matter of fact, you know, I met Gary at the fair one year, and there's this, you know, big beat up black Chevy pickup with mud tires on it and hell dents and a camera in it, and I was like, whoa, you know, I've always been a car guy, and I was like, wow, this thing is cool.
Whose was that?
It was Val's.
Okay.
You know, one
Of
of Val's many victims that, you know, he's had over the years.
Yeah, still does.
Yeah, and so it was kind of,
Yeah.
you know, it was kind of cool. I got to talking to him and, you know, hanging out, and next thing you know, kind of got on some chasing, and everybody was all gone on another day, and I had a decent day, and gave him some video, come in and met Jed at the station, and, you know, that was cool, and then, yeah, so, you know, I always loved chasing. I always loved weather as a kid, and I think it's because I was scared of it. You know, I was born in Oklahoma City, and kind of bounced back and forth between Wichita and Oklahoma City, where my parents moved to, back and forth. And, you know, I remember being, goodness, probably 7 or 8 years old, maybe 9 or 10, somewhere around there, and staying with my cousins, spending the night. A farmhouse, like a 100-year-old farmhouse, just outside of Wichita, a little town called Goddard. You may have been there before.
Okay.
And my uncle getting us up and taking us down to, we didn't have a basement, but that house had a big crawl space underneath it. That you had to like crawl through this like cement hole to get under the house, and then it was all the dirt and pipes, and so it wasn't a real friendly place to be. But I remember, you know, him like listening to the radio, and, you know, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and, you know, worried about the tornado coming. And so that was, you know, I was always kind of had a healthy fear of them, I guess, growing up. And my family camped, went to the river, lake, and all that kind of stuff quite a bit. And I think it was like my freshman year of high school, maybe a little bit earlier than that. We were at El Dorado Lake.
Northeast of Wichita.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. And we were camping, and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. My dad had this little small camper. It was like 19 or 20 foot camper, and there was like 4 kids and him and his wife in there. So we're packed in there.
Yeah.
You know, noisy old air conditioner, just, you know. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I wake up, and I was like, hey, them are tornado sirens. You know, just out of I always kind of slept light. My dad's like, huh? And I was like, hey, that's a tornado siren. We open up the door, and sure enough, the tornado sirens are going off. So he's like, hey, hustle, everybody kind of get in the car, and we were going to go over to the concrete restroom, you know, shower, bathhouse thing. And I remember my stepmother's just panicking, you know, trying to get in the car and, you know, turn it on and whatever. And this funnel comes over the top of us. And it's 3/4 of the way to the ground. It's, you know, right over the top of us.
In the morning.
Yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And we get to the bathhouse or whatever, and I remember like 3 grown men are trying to hold this door shut, probably RFD, you know, probably 100-mile-an-hour RFD or whatever, and they're trying to hold this door shut, and just the chaos and the panic in that moment, you know, and it was fearful. Well, that thing laid down just past us, picked up, hit a campground, hit some campers. There were some people hurt pretty bad. It takes a truck and a camper and puts it in the lake.
Yeah.
Families inside.
Yeah. Oh wow.
The camper dislodges from the truck and floats back up to the top.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it was like, I remember just how intense that was, and was like, man, how did we all get surprised? And so I think that's kind of that fabric that started that interest of
Catalyst.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just that kind of that fear, you know. And then I moved back here to Oklahoma, and I graduated from Westmore High School. So I grew up in Moore. Moore was my hometown. And you know, needless to say, Moore's pretty, you know, well known for its tornadic activity. But yeah, just seeing television chasers, seeing, you know, guys like Val that were out there. You know, I'm quite a bit younger than Val.
Right.
So I so I say
Right.
I grew up watching Val.
At least 6 months.
But yeah, some of them guys, and so yeah, that long story short or longer, we get to the fair, and you know, I'm talking to them and whatever. And Gary was like, hey, you know, if you want to, you know, if you're interested, and why don't you, you know, talk to Susan at that time. You know, Susan is assistant, and so yeah, she was like, well, call me after the first year. It's like January 2nd. I'm like, they back in the office, and I call them. And yeah, we come in, and you know, we didn't chase much that first year or two. You know, there were so many good chasers out there, and there were so many people on the team at different times. And yeah, we got some pretty good video. And like I said, I come in. It was an October El Reno deal. Everybody else was kind of gone or went to the moderate high risk stuff in Texas. This would have been a 97-ish, give or take.
You said October?
Yeah, it was October 10th of 97, I believe.
I think that was the big outbreak day, right? North of Stillwater, Kingfisher tornado,
It was
Watonga.
yeah.
Moore got hit, or later that evening. Was that one of those? Is that the big?
I don't know. I don't remember Moore getting hit that evening, but yeah. Long story short,
The fall event, yeah.
Yeah, a fall event. I come into the station and give Jed. It's the first time I'd met Jed Castles. You know, great dude. And we cut up some video or whatever.
Right.
And
sure.
after that, Gary like calls me and he's like, "Hey, you know, then that was great, and come by the station." And so I started chasing with a couple of chasers that, you know, were no longer here. Chased for them a couple of times, and then it was having trouble getting coordinated. You know, hey, we need to go out. I can't get off work, or you know the struggle.
Yeah, it's hard.
And so Patty started filling in and chasing for me, or chasing with me. And,
Not that I wanted to.
You didn't. So you didn't have any desire.
I did not.
I mean,
no.
zero.
Zero.
You just did it for.
Yeah, I grew up very terrified of weather.
Right.
I had that mom who it sprinkles and she's unplugging everything. Don't talk on the phone. Don't wash your hands.
No
don't
baths,
take a shower.
no showers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I grew up very scared of weather, and I wanted no part of it. And he was like, "Come on, I just need somebody, please." And so
Just this one time.
yeah, just this one time, just one time. And so got my mom over because our kids were young at the time. She sat with the kids and I went with him. And
So when
later,
was that? What you said, 2000?
yeah, that probably would have been 2000-ish, right? Somewhere
maybe
right around
99,
there.
I think, because I think you did 2 years before me.
It was after May 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
it was after May 3rd, so I think it was like that fall. Because
Yeah.
it was a nighttime
Okay.
while we were out there through
Yeah.
the night.
Yeah.
Because yeah, my first chase out, I'm terrified, and
Right.
yeah, we're on a road, and it's pitch black outside because you know you're out in
Down
the
by
country.
Medicine Park. We're on the north side of Medicine
Yeah.
Park.
Can't
No
see
lights.
anything at all, and Hank's hollering at me, "Just look through the lightning. There's a tornado in the field somewhere." My first time ever out. Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh.
Did you see it? Did you see something?
We did.
Yeah, we were, you know, back then, and that's what's so cool. You know, chasing is
Well, you didn't have any radar back then.
right.
No.
That's what I was going to say.
we
Chasing's kind of easy today.
It's easy. It's easier.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Back-
yeah.
Still challenging.
You know,
but
back
yeah.
then we were taking those maps. What are they? Whatever maps that they were putting out in the mornings, and I had some plastic overlays and some wax.
We
pencils.
laminated a big
Oh,
paper map.
So
Yes.
I laminated, and I would make my own weather maps
Yep.
just off what the National Weather Service was putting out that morning,
Okay.
or Storm Prediction Center or whatever. You know, just kind of looking at things, and you know, basically it was like, Okay, Grady County. You know, at 9 a.m. we decided, okay, Grady County's our target today. Well,
Yeah.
goodness gracious, these data changes so much.
Yeah.
That you remember, how
Yeah.
hard that was
Yeah.
back then, and you just busted.
How many bus days did we have?
All the time.
All the time. You
All
go out and
the
sit,
time.
and nothing would happen. Be like, oh.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't uncommon for me to probably see 2 tornadoes a year for the first year or two. It was so difficult to find the tornado. It was crazy. So
Became date night for us. Go out to Woodward, have pizza, and come home. And
yeah,
Because you see nothing.
Well, that is kind of the truth. Or go out there to Shamrock, Texas, and that little gas station
On
out
the
there.
I-40. I know.
Yeah.
Been there.
So
it's pretty cool. I mean, you guys, started out like that. Well, obviously, go out with me, help him once or twice, turned into,
Yeah.
yeah, I had this. So growing
20
up
years
in
later,
Wichita,
30 years later?
there was this radio station, and it was called KFDI. It was a country station. That was my first exposure to like chasers, because there weren't chasers really back then.
ham operators, civil defense.
Yeah, these
stuff like that.
guys were.
Yeah.
I remember. I've never met the man, but I always remember his name, Dan Dillon, Fast Unit 42, and they did this like NASCAR type reporting on the radio. Well, you couldn't see it, obviously, but you could hear them. And I just always remember them being, in hail and all of this. And really, they were the go-to for information up there. And I just remember that, and remember, like, here there really wasn't, that. And then until it started, Val pioneered that, really. Gary and Val, and, they kind of started bringing that along, and then as other chasers started coming on, and then I was like, man, this is really cool. This is not only for the excitement part of it, the adrenaline, the fun,
Yeah,
to
right,
sure. See a tornado and smell it and hear it and feel the rumble and all those things that are very addicting. But then I always kind of had that in my mind, the warning part of it, because I remember as a kid hearing them guys, report like that.
And be able to take radio and make it what they're saying. You can picture it.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Is that they can make it. They didn't have it, like you said. There's no video, but what they're explaining or describing, you're like, okay.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why I report the way I do. I get very descriptive, probably too descriptive sometimes, talking about dirt and tree and smell, and knowing that a lot of times people don't really understand where County Road 1260 is, but they know where the barbecue joint is, or they know where the gas station or the church or the high school. And that comes, I think, from growing up as a kid, listening to them guys do that. Early on.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It still works today though, because when you guys are in the field, you guys make a great team, obviously, but you're and you still are very descriptive on, what you're seeing, and we see that one shot out the front of the window. We can't see,
Yeah, it's
big difference, and it still is. And your shot, and I know what it looks like, and I'm like, you'll have a storm, and I'm like, oh, I know what you guys are looking at.
Yeah.
But at home it looks amazing, but it looks 10 times that, in the field.
Yeah, so much bigger and
And more amazing. You're like,
encompassing.
oh my God. This thing is, your video is incredible. And so I chase, I've said this on the wall, I chase through you guys. When you're out there and you've got a shot up.
I can hear it sometimes. I can hear
right
it,
back.
your voice. Like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah,
what's on the left side there?
I know.
I know exactly what's going on.
I see a
in your
little
head.
tag, and work that corner, and I'm like, hey, what's that? And you're like, I know, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So.
I think my funniest recollection of you doing that is the day we set through the little spin up in KT's parking lot, just north of Blanchard there. And a 55-gallon drum comes by, and you're like,
is that a trash can? Was that a drum? What was that?
I don't know. I think it was like a plastic drum, a plastic
You were
barrel.
up high, right? And
Yeah.
then it came out of the...
I was up on top of the parking lot, yeah.
Well, it hit you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It was small, but that tornado hit you. And then also in 16, when Moore had their tornado, that day you guys were out by Fort Cobb, right? Fort Cobb Lake down in
Go
Caddo
ahead,
County.
David. Bring up all the times that I've put Patty in a tornado.
Well, no,
These are great stories.
But here's the deal. I'll say this. There's no official tornado warning, so we issue our own for good reason. It was spinning. You're underneath it. and it wasn't a big tornado. It's not going to
No.
blow a house down, but
Yeah.
you were like, hey, and there was a little tiny needle thing, and I was like, that's a tornado. And then,
Yeah.
so go ahead. What?
So,
But maybe she should tell it. I don't know. I'm kind of worried you're gonna.
yeah, we're coming in, and Patty's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, I need to get to this junction right there, that Fort Cobb junction." And I said, "I need to get there and head south." And she was like, "You're going to drive us right into that tornado. You can't." And I said, "Honey, it's either 80-mile-an-hour golf ball or baseballs,
Right.
2 miles north of it,
Yeah, that was
or take
pretty
my
low.
chance with this little tornado." And if we, it's not that we're scared so much of hail, but if we bust the windshield out, then we're kind of useless for warning video-wise.
Right.
We're
That's a mess.
yeah,
I mean,
one
it's
out of the
pain.
chase, and yeah, it's so inconvenient. Water and
Yep.
glass dust and all those things that get in the vents, and it's just
Yep.
inconvenient. And so I made the decision to jump past the hail, and that little tornado just happened to sit down on top of us. And
Weren't you in an intersection?
yeah, and yeah, me and you were
Yeah.
on the air, and you say, "Yeah, it's a tornado," and I said something like, it might take the siding off your barn, but not the roof off your house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, somebody had picked that up, national, and I started getting messages from like all over the country.
Yeah. Right.
I'm
I'm gonna use that this spring.
about people. Yeah, it was really cool. It's like,
Yeah.
that, whatever, some pretty choice comments about, you're confident in your abilities when, this kind of stuff. But we joke about that. I've put Patty in 3 or 4 tornadoes, and so it's always kind of don't you put me in a, well, and then it happens.
The worst one was on the turnpike. We were
Yeah.
between
It was one of
Chickasha.
David's first chases with
Yeah.
us.
Well,
saw
it
down
was the
there-
first big day we'd had back in 13.
Yeah, down there,
Yeah.
we were down there, Lawton Ike, I think, we had a tornado right over
Had a-
Lawton Ike.
Yeah, I had a tornado in Lawton. That was my last year to chase. Was 13. Yeah, but we did, and then at night, you guys,
Again, nighttime, yeah.
nighttime, you got caught. You were in it.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
you were in it, and it wasn't. I mean, you were in it the mezzo, but I remember looking at the couplet, and I was like, yeah, they're in it. I mean,
Yeah. We
You're
turned the
knee-deep.
truck like across the highway, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, if it's going to flip us, I want it to flip this way and not roll sideways." It's
it's
like,
good planning, though. I'll give him that.
right, I guess so.
Were
but
you on 81?
We were on,
We were on the
44.
turnpike, yeah.
Okay, were you close to 8? I thought you were just north
Yeah.
of Chickasha
We were, yeah, we were.
or south side, or
We were in between the 2 exits. We had just got on.
okay.
Because I knew it was going to go to Blanchard.
Yeah, right.
So I was trying to get to the north exit and get towards Tabler.
Yeah.
And we jumped on, and of course you couldn't see nothing. It was like a washing machine. It was really wet.
Yeah, super.
know,
It was all
really-
HP at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
And yeah, it happens. I mean,
That was my first experience with you and you guys, and I was like, God, okay.
it happens. I mean,
I like how he
when
plays.
David says you're crazy, you know there's a problem.
Crazy.
well,
No, it was. I mean, but yeah, you could have been in a bad. You were in a bad spot, but it could have been worse if it had really. At least you positioned yourself so if you flip, it's the right way.
Yeah.
There's no right way when you're going to flip.
it's physics. I mean, it takes a lot to get you going this way.
Well, and plus you want to be facing so you have an exit route. When it ends, you can always get back on 44 and get to Blanchard. I do remember that night. Yeah, that was a.
Yeah.
That day started out kind of wimpy, but it got.
Yeah, it got good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ramped up for sure. So just looking back, I mean, are there any times? I mean, the Fort Cobb and those and that was kind of a white knuckle ride. But are there times where you've been out and you're like, oh God, I mean, you get nervous. Do you still? I mean, you've done it so many times now. You guys have been.
Not anymore.
You really don't. You're like.
Yeah. Now.
I mean, you don't ever. Like, okay, hey, are we close enough? Or you're core punching. You're going through the wind and the hail, and you're trying to get through. Do
It's
you
funny,
ever?
we have good checks and balances, I think, because there are times where I don't want him to get as close, but he's getting closer. And then there's times that it's the opposite. I'm like, get a little closer or stop. I need to get this shot. And he's like, I got to go. So, I mean, I think it's good checks and balances at this point.
Yeah.
And real quick, and people don't realize that she runs the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Camera and navigates for me. So
Yeah,
she has
that's
a
a
really
lot.
tough job because.
Yeah.
And maybe I think she's learned by now that, I say, hey, I need an east option. I've got a road 2 miles. And you can go 3 miles east on that road in 2 miles.
Right.
And I blow by it. She was like, that was your road.
Yeah.
I know. What are you doing? Just keep giving me options. You know, I mean, you know, and because, you know, the storms don't follow the roads that we want them to. And so, and then the next thing you know, I've got us up somewhere, and she's like, well, you can take this cattle guard and go this way. And, you know, but she's like Rabbit from Twister. So,
Done that.
You know, there's been a couple of times we were, I don't remember what day it was. It was the day of the Hennessy twin tornadoes. Winoka twin tornadoes. I'll have to go back and look, see what that actually was.
Woodward Day?
No, it wasn't Woodward. It wasn't Woodward night. It was years earlier than that. Maybe Okarche. Maybe we had twin tornadoes in Okarche that day. We're just north of 40. We're on some dirt roads. We'd been getting in and off of 66, and we were out there somewhere probably near Concho or somewhere, I don't remember. But we're cooking. This tornado is in this field just next to us. We're headed east, and it's a couple of 100 yards. And so,
Oh, I know this day.
you're not really watching the road.
I know, yeah.
You're driving, and
Yep.
you know, I'm watching this tornado and driving, and we're on this muddy road, and I look, like, we come down this hill, and I can't see like where the road's at, and I see this oak tree, probably, you know, 4 foot in diameter oak tree. And it's what I call one of those God moments. We've had a few of them where God, like, hey.
Right.
So I hit the brakes, and we're muddy, and we're probably doing 50 or 60. And I start sliding down this hill, and it was like, where is trying to really calculate what's going on. And I see the road makes almost a 90-degree turn. So I'm gonna let off the brakes, pump the gas, and slam it, and get it sideways. And there's a 1-lane bridge with the creosote ties on top of it.
Yeah.
You know, and we hit it sideways. And when the back axle hits that, it pulls the truck right onto it, you know, and I'm still on the gas, and we hammer past it. And when we're going down, it's probably a 20-foot drop into the river bottom there, or whatever it is, the creek bottom. Well, you know, that's over with. We make the next turn, and we're still on the tornado. And I'm like, hey, you still got it in the shot, you know? And I'm watching the tornado. And all I hear from her is like,
She's not over what
and
you
I
just
was like, and I looked
not over
over
what
at
you
her,
just
and
did.
she's just like, She is not wanting to talk. She is not. And I was like, did that scare you? And she was like, well, you can drive. And that's about all she said to me for the rest of the night. She didn't want to talk anymore. So, you know, there's some of those that are kind of white knuckle. I got scared for Brandon the night last year or 2 years ago, out there on 40 in Shawnee.
He was southwest of Shawnee.
Yeah, because I was right behind him, or wasn't too far from him, and Val was, I think, just in front of us.
Right.
And we were in a bad spot. There was a tornado just to the west of us. Now, we couldn't see anything. It was dark, and it was all socked in.
That was one that was coming out of Etowah.
Yeah.
That was a bad tornado.
And you're telling me, hey, there's a tornado to your west.
It was strong.
And there's a tornado to your east, and we are like kind of caught in between. And I'm trying to run, and we are out there on somewhere, one of those roads somewhere out there, and we're trying to run to get back to 40, where I've got a fighting chance of at least running one way or the other.
Right.
And so we're in between 9 and 40.
Yeah.
And Triple X Road or something like that. And I can hear it in Brandon's voice. I know. And I was like, and we started praying right then for his safety about that. And then I was like, we just get washed with the core. And I know this other tornado is close to us. And I'm trying to run, and I can't. It just, I'm going 10 miles an hour or whatever. I mean, I can't see the hood.
Yeah.
It's midnight or 11 or whatever it is.
It was late.
And so I pull into this Dollar General parking lot. And she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm going to get us hurt. Trying to run. I can't see anything. Mm-hmm. If it hits us, I'd rather be near something so they'll find us.
Yeah.
And she was like, that was a serious moment.
Yeah, right,
where
sure.
It was almost like, God calculated the worst of the two evils.
Yeah.
And then that lasted about 2 minutes. And then I was like, we got a fighting chance. and then we got right up and we saw the second tornado, the small part of it, cross back over I-40. So it just, you know how it is when you're in the Corps, and sometimes it's just like, it's so dangerous. You can't even see the windshield. You know, and we were in one of those situations, and, you know.
Yeah, and a half mile away or 300 yards away, you could be right on the edge. I mean, just like you said, you know, about Brandon, and he was. Yeah, I got worried for him that night too. Well, for all of you guys, because there was a lot of. I mean, think about that was the Shawnee night. You know, that tornado itself in Shawnee was 1.2, 1.1 miles wide. That was the width of the tornado as it came into Shawnee.
I didn't realize it was that big.
That's why I went down there the next day and just walked around. And I thought, there'll be, you know, and I knew it was big, but I got down there and I was like, there's damage from the mall past the high school, clear on the south side of town, OBU. I mean, the whole town was.
Yeah.
And it was just little vortices. I could give it a 1, maybe a low end 2. I mean, it wasn't like, but yeah, he got caught. That was kind of one of those, and everything kept occluding that night. Remember, everything kept doing this the whole evening.
Yeah.
So
many crazy things that night. So Val's truck dies trying to run from it.
Yeah, that's right.
And he gets it restarted. Brandon almost gets hit, and then, you know, we almost get sandwiched between the two. And so yeah, you're like, thanks, Lord. Those little
and you try not to be in those situations. We do have kids and
grandkids,
and
I'm not a thrill seeker. I'm not, you know.
Well, I don't know. I would label you as not a thrill seeker.
Right.
Well, I mean,
you drive race cars.
Okay, so maybe I'm a thrill seeker. I'm not. I don't have a death wish. We've got kids and, you know, grandbabies and things like that. So,
I know, but
we try not to be in those type of situations.
But you are an adrenaline. And part of, to me, it was the weather was first, but there was always obviously adrenaline that came with that. You guys still experience it, but you race cars, and I mean, you race a lot. You guys are, you know, I mean. So you can chase a tornado on a Thursday and, I mean, see an incredible big day, and then less than 24 hours later, you're doing 100 miles an hour around a track wherever. So
you only get one life.
No, I'm not.
Try to stuff it all in there.
It's great, but usually after a big day, most people will take a debrief day or two, and the next night you guys are, or maybe that even, I don't know.
Yeah.
That night or the next 2 nights later, you guys are racing. So.
Yeah, it's a silly little life we get to lead sometimes. It's pretty cool. So.
Well, no, it's great. I mean, people probably don't know that you know, and what do they call you at the racetrack when they call your name out? Don't they call you something?
Well, they call me all kinds.
They call you. I mean,
it depends how friendly you are with me.
For the ones that like you.
The racing chaser is
the
what
racing
one of the
chaser
guys calls me.
That's pretty
quite
cool.
a bit. Yeah. So.
That's fun.
That is fun. It is a lot of fun. Racing is a hoot. It's a lot of fun. It's hard, and there's a lot of really good race car drivers out there. It's hard. It's kind of like storm chasing. Storm chasing, I said earlier that it's easy. It's easier than it was, but storm chasing is still hard. There's a lot of good storm chasers out there, you know, and that's what's kind of changed in the last several years. Used to, man, me and you were on the air. We had a Duke tornado. I don't remember what day that was, and we were out there all by ourselves. And you know, I had that old Raptor that I love, that supercharged Raptor, and that was such a great chase. And I told Patty, I was like, "This is the last." I can't. And it hit Cordell. The second one split up on Cordell that day.
Right.
And I was like, God, I can't remember the last time we were out here alone like this. Because the chaser convergence is so crazy now that it's added a new dynamic.
Yeah, for sure.
And the more I've traveled, the more I've learned that only Oklahoma does weather like we do. If you go to Dallas, or I was in Nashville and they had severe weather, it's like there is no coverage.
No.
It's generalized, and so a lot of people rely on streamers that are doing YouTube streams or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Even in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, it's like that.
Yeah.
I have friends that live down there that used to live here, and they're like, yeah, the weather coverage down here is terrible. We watch this guy stream or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not like in Oklahoma.
No.
And you get here, and you're watching one of the local medias and all
we're
of
streaming,
us. It's crazy the difference that everywhere else around the country, they just don't do it like we do. It's pretty crazy how wild that is, that they just don't have those coverages. I mean, here, even the resident of Oklahoma City or more has a better idea of a lot of stuff that's going on that's being broadcast in other markets.
And I think it's a couple of reasons. I think companies, they don't, when we go out and do 10 hours or 12 hours of coverage or half a day, we're losing money. Now, we'll try to make it up at some point, but when we're on the air, sales department, I can't walk back there for like a week.
Right, right.
I mean, they're like, run him over. But, those markets, I think, protect that. But we have people all the time that are either on vacation. I get them. Depends on time of year, but I may get 2 or 3 a week, or they're traveling or on vacation, or they moved to another part of the country that has severe weather, and they're like, it's horrible here. And I get it. But also, it's a lot of work, what we do. And there's people in other markets that I watch and I don't want to work hard. I mean, it's easy to go in and do less, right? I mean, there's a lot of that. Dallas is another market. Just, they don't do much. They really don't. I mean, they'll go on the air, but
especially for
the
chasers. I mean, all of us have some type of a job outside of chasing generally. And it's tough. I mean, there's, May 3rd, I came in, took a shower at 5:30 in the morning and left for work. Got home at 5:30 in the morning, took a shower, ate a snack or whatever, and went
into May 4th.
Into May 4th, went to work. Chased a tornado on the way to work that morning, and then went into work, and then I mean, it was
24 hours.
It was a long day, and it's still like that now. A lot of times we leave at noon or give or take, somewhere around there, depending on where the target is, and we may not get back until 2 o'clock generally a.m., but it might be 3 or 4 depending if it's slowed down or how much damage is, if something's happened, and, or it's the early morning stuff. It seems like this year in particular, I saw more tornadoes between 3 and 7 a.m. than I did in the afternoon.
Well, that's what people have, like the Bob Mills event or whatever events we're at, or I just get stopped or I get an email or whatever. But people are like, do we have more now than we used to? And my answer is absolutely. I mean, I worked the morning show across town for 18 years. We didn't have these, what we call them QLCS, these little spin-ups on these lines. And we've had a lot more of those the last 2 or 3 years. No doubt about it. I mean, and everything's a cycle. Will it go away? Could. But for now, we seem to have, and you guys are always, I mean, when I was like, he's a magnet for these morning
I might just be a little slow. Maybe everybody else is out in front. I just get...
You're just lagging behind, running the line, you catch the tornado. But you have been in a lot of those.
Yeah, we've been in a lot of those.
And late night, either midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, or 4, 5, 6, or 7 in the morning. Yeah. It seems like. I mean,
and so if it's closer to the metro, generally I'm going to take a little bit more of a risk because I can't see it. You basically just have to feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power flashes.
And if feel the wind shifts.
Yeah, that's
and then I know it's I know we're in it. I know we're there, and then now I've got to go because it's moving so fast, and so to catch back into it, and so I'm generally a little bit more risky if I'm around the metro, just because there's so much more at stake. I'm not going to do that in rural Oklahoma, but it's about warning people, or I go back to being that scared kid about, golly, why didn't we know, or why don't we know, and I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know how do you explain that, but it's almost like you feel a duty or a calling to, and you get so many people that come up to you and they act, they know you from their side because you were a voice of calm or reason or
Yeah,
information
during that one event.
During that event, and
Yeah.
they really latch on to you with that, and so. That's kind of an honor that people trust you, that what we're
Yeah.
saying is accurate,
For sure.
that it's, that it's helpful, that it's useful information, and it's hard to take this crazy, chaotic situation that's going on right out in your eyesight and tone that down to a factual information conversation that, hey, you need to take cover instead of,
Yeah.
this thing is awesome,
Yeah.
It's that and sometimes, you'll hear me and Val both do it. We both start talking really fast, start getting excited, and,
Yeah.
when we're into something because our cadence picks up
Yeah,
quite a bit. And,
I can tell by both. Well, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys are. I can tell when we're going to the next. We're here. We're going to the next level, and and that's fine. I mean, people. You don't want to be too far, but then again, if you're boring, you want people to
Right.
move. You want people to, hey, this is.
Yeah.
We're not gonna have the same tone as an EF2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's just a different. Things are said differently, but the message is still the same. Hey.
I tend to get more excited about hail, or at least more intense about hail than
Because he doesn't want that new truck in it as well.
Well, yeah. So
Yeah, new truck. Yeah.
we're in that period. Every time I get a new truck,
She'll break it in for you.
she tried the other day.
I know. She was wanting to go. I was like, all right.
Yeah, every time I get a new truck, it's always the thing. I'm not putting this one in the hail until it happens, and then after that, it's game on. But and the hail always seeks her out. So it doesn't. We
It's
were.
always on my side.
I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were.
Because he's turning into it.
Well,
Probably.
no.
He's,
We were in that storm. It was moving like 80 miles an hour at night. Elk City, 3 years ago.
February
Yeah,
of
coming back, and all of a sudden we
24.
get into some hail, and
Yeah.
I can start seeing the hail at night coming. So I know it's at least golf ball if you can see it.
You can see
coming
the white
that far away.
with the lights and stuff.
Yeah, and this baseball, wow, right in front of Patty's face.
Is that night you guys were coming east on 40?
Yeah, at like 80 miles an hour, and pow! I mean, it hits, and she's like, ah!
I'm usually very quiet in the truck, not
Yeah.
that time.
That was that was one of the craziest. Like, if you look at all the events, and we've all worked so many of them of the same events, right? For how many decades now? That was one of that will go down as, I don't know, top 20. It's in the top because all the storms that night were moving
Yeah,
at 80 to 100.
yeah. I think I drove 80 or 90 from Elk City to Yukon, and I beat the storm by like a minute.
Yeah,
It was crazy. And then we had a little spin up right on top of us out there just west of.
South Metro
Yeah.
took off, and we had the thing that, Norman got hit that night.
Oh,
Yep,
and then it did
it
the
did.
I-40 MacArthur thing where Highway
Ye-
Patrol
yes.
was blocking the road and let me by them,
Yeah.
and then it hit right in front. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's nuts.
it was crazy.
yeah.
I mean, we were playing whack-a-mole. Then we had, storms up north. The like you were on the Canadian County, that thing. I mean, there were so many. Mm-hmm. The speed was just amazing. At one point, you were on the air, and I remember when you said this, you were like, because radar, the skits, we knew what it was doing. We were tracking it, all that stuff. But when you go, I can almost not keep up. And I was like, and it was your voice just tapered off, and I was like, it's gotten into you. But I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
you're driving on rain, trying to stay ahead of it. And
Well, and especially in the metro, trying to,
Crazy.
you've got all the traffic, you've got the stoplights, you've got, it's even harder to keep up with anything there.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, trying to stay safe and still get to where we need to be, still provide what we need to. That's
yeah,
traffic obviously changes that.
Oh, yeah. still busy at midnight anymore. Back in the
Yeah.
day, this place was pretty quiet at midnight. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Different shift, different companies. There's lots of
Right,
traffic.
right.
People I don't think realize when you guys are chasing, people just think it's almost like you're a commentator sitting in another room watching video.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize
Yeah.
that when you're in the field, you're still driving. I mean, you're still having to,
Yeah.
you got a 5,000 pound, big truck. You're trying to get through. You've got traffic, which is, is crazy now with all the storm trackers. Certain times of the year it's worse and all that, but still, the roads are dangerous, roads are wet, hydroplaning, and then oh, and here's the tornado.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the end product, but people don't realize.
There's a lot, but we get to meet so many people. I mean, we've met so many great people over the years, from the governor and her husband to, all kinds of different people. Mike Betcher and of course the guy. I mean, so many great people
that watch.
So many great Oklahoma people too. So the Woodward tornado, the night of the Woodward tornado, we were all chasing that day. I think you were chasing across town that day. And we saw 12 or 14 tornadoes that day.
Before the Woodward that night.
Before the Woodward. And they pulled me back to Winoka to meet the SAT truck. At that time we actually had the SAT truck, not the dish on the trailer that Val was talking about.
That's prehistoric.
That was a great story.
It's
That's
good.
True.
Very true.
And we pull back to meet the SAT truck and we roll into town, and it's 9:30, and the SAT truck rolls in and I roll in, and it's the middle of the Winoka Rattlesnake Festival.
There we go.
And the sand, something big's going on at the sand dunes.
Oh, Little Sahara?
Yeah, Little Sahara's got something going on.
I did
and
remember
the Rattlesnake
seeing those trucks.
Festival. And so Winoka is packed.
Big day for Winoka.
It's a big day for Winoka. And everybody that was out at that time in the streets, they're having a good time. They've been living life. And they've had a couple of tornadoes just miss them, so maybe we celebrate them. Well, they asked me, they said, hey, I want you to go off the 10. We're going to show your video, go off the top. I said, okay. So I'm doing the hit off the top, and I'm sitting there, and we're just getting ready to go. Marty pulls up. He had been there kind of close, and he had some good tornado videos. So me and Marty are saying our highs and talking a second, and they've got the lights in my face and the camera, and I hear this guy say, hey, Hank. And I kind of try to look around. He's like, you want to pet it? And I was like,
it's never a question you want to hear.
Yeah, I was like, what is he talking? And I'm like,
no,
it's a crowd.
It's a hard no.
It's a crowd of rowdy people that have had a rough week, and they're celebrating at the end of the week or whatever. And I was like, and I look over, and he holds up this rattlesnake.
It's alive.
It's alive.
Yeah.
He had won the Rattlesnake Festival, and then took a snake back. I guess you go in there and you judge it. It's kind of like doing the FFA. You pull it and you take it all back with you, whatever.
No way.
And this snake, it was huge.
And
I'm not afraid of snakes. I understand how to identify them, and I respect them. I'm not going to go grab a 6-foot rattlesnake.
No.
And he was like, yeah, I win every year. This old girl's so tame. I just throw rabbits in her den, and she doesn't even rattle at me anymore. You can come and pet her.
No.
I was like, okay, thanks. Maybe after the news.
I'll stick to this tornado.
Secrets, babe.
And then about that time, they come to me, and I'm like, I got to talk about this tornado, and this guy's got this rattlesnake. So really some ornery events, some fun things like that this job is afforded us to do.
Like the time Cam's legs are up on national TV in the truck. That was great.
That was CBS.
Yeah.
Who was with you that?
David Begnaud come.
Oh, yeah. Came up from Dallas or whatever.
Him and his team. I don't remember where they had been. And anyway, they come because it was a high-risk day. It was the day that Jim had the vapor pulling off the trees like in Guthrie. It wasn't a tornado, but it was like the condensate was just
like a scud bomb.
And, we really dodged a bullet that day. Nothing really happened that day that could have.
Right.
So CBS National was with me, David Begnaud, and we were stationed up down in Chickasha, and I had Patty's a nurse. At that time, I was a firefighter, so I had my trauma bag with me and all my gear. And there were a couple of police officers that were riding with us, and my youngest son, who at this time is like 16 or 17. He's 6'2", so he's all legs and torso. Well, David shoots a couple of things for us and with us, and does some stuff on the national, CBS National News or Evening News, and he said, "Hey, we're going to go off the top of the 530." And I said, "Okay, so what are you going to do?" And he's like, "We're going to come and talk to you. We're going to come and talk to Patty." And I said, "Okay, so are you going to do anything in the truck? Do I need to have them get out of the back seat or whatever?" He's like, "No, we won't do anything back there. We'll come back. We'll show your gear, kind of tie that side of the story in." So he does all those things. And then he comes and he opens the back door because he wants to show them all the equipment we have in there to stream live. And, you know, my 6'2" kid is in there and he's got his legs up in the air, you know, behind the seat, you know, whatever, just legs
like
everywhere.
Praying mantis shoved in there.
That's what he looks like. And it kind of surprises both of them. And he's like, oh, and David's like, oh. Live on the 5:30
National. So we're getting messages from everybody.
CBS.
all across the country. People I have friends, family start texting me. It was
That's great.
It was so.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I just remember that. And didn't the door close fast?
Yeah.
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 Open and it's like,
kinda
and then,
right, it's kind of like you open the restroom.
what was
porta
that?
potty
Yeah, I'm
there.
sorry.
Whoops.
My bad. You weren't sure what quite was going on in there. It's like, oh, where's that going? Yeah, I do remember that. That day, and again, we had some weather that day, but you were down because it looked like the storm was going to come out a lot and something bad is going to hit the metro.
Yeah.
And it, you know, thankfully.
I really thought that was going to be another day, you know.
Didn't, I think Rosie had the deal over near, one of the better tornadoes of the day was over on I-40. Same day, right? Was it the same day? Got the big merry-go-round across 40.
No. That was earlier.
That was another
that was that
high-risk,
Wewoka
kind of a
day,
bust day.
right? Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
which is good. Didn't pan out to what could have been, should have been. So.
Yeah, you know, generally it seems like the recipe for success is stay around more. I mean, we were, you know, May 3rd and 8th and 9th and then 19th and 20th and, you know, all those, you know, 31st. I mean, it kind of died by the time it got to more. But yeah, it was like so many of those days, you know, for us, it's like there's two things you plan around. Yeah. Don't plan anything on OU Texas weekend.
True. And
if you're going to get married, you better get married before March.
No, don't get married May 10th.
So,
May 7th. What's your anniversary?
March 3rd.
March 3rd. Every year for several years, the Storm Tracker safety meeting that we have every year.
Yeah.
Every year for several years, it was on our anniversary.
Well, when do we do it? No, we do it in February now usually.
We do it earlier now, but used to be.
Used to be in the evenings and Ted's, and so I took her out date night. Yeah.
Your date night's now the tracker meeting?
Yeah. Got free Mexican food.
That's sweet. Isn't that fun? Well, we'll
That's what I
move it
get for
around
30 years.
Well, this has been fun. You guys, and we'll do more of these. We got a lot more. You guys, there's so many great stories you guys have to tell. So we'll come back and circle this. We'll do it again. But you know, I think everybody in Oklahoma appreciates both of you. You guys are a team, and you're a household name for a good reason. You guys truly care about Oklahomans, you're Okies, and so we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you guys
very much.
Thank you for having us.
You bet.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you've been a part of, once again, the 1 millionth. I think I'm making that part up.
1 million.
I think I am.
It's probably about as many years of experience you and I have together. So,
At least as many hours, right? So thanks again for joining us Beyond the Forecast again. So we'll do this again. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.